Hello everyone, welcome back to the third session of Google Cloud BigQuery course. In the previous session, we have seen introduction to BigQuery, am I right? Under that, we have seen the overview of BigQuery, the key features and the benefits of BigQuery, how the BigQuery works, the use cases for a BigQuery. After that, we have seen the BigQuery sandbox, yeah. So if you don't want to set up the billing account, you can go ahead to use the BigQuery sandbox. Yeah. After that, we have seen how to set up the BigQuery account. Okay. So what the steps we followed for that? So to set up the BigQuery account, we just have to select the Google Cloud project for which you want to set up the BigQuery account. Once you select the project, then you have to enable the BigQuery API. After that, you can create the service account for that. And then you can go ahead to develop or build the data set under that project. And under the data set, you can have a tables. So in a previous session, we have seen how you can create a data set and how you can create a table under that data set. Am I right? Yeah. Now, in this session, we are going to start with working with BigQuery. Yeah. So let me show you what you are going to learn in this session. So in this session, we are going to see navigating the BigQuery console. Okay. Then using the BigQuery command line tool and then Google Cloud SDK. Okay. What is the use of Google Cloud SDK? How can you install it in your system? What's the purpose of Google Cloud SDK? Okay. And then we will see introduction to BigQuery client libraries. After that, we are going to see how can you load and export the data. So what are the different data formats supported by the BigQuery? Okay. After that, we will see loading the data into the BigQuery from various sources. Yeah. So in the previous session, I think I have already shown you how can you load the data into BigQuery or how can you create a table under the particular data set. Okay. So we are going to see the part of loading the data into BigQuery from various sources in detail. And finally, we are going to cover the Google Cloud Storage Bucket, GCS bucket, and how can you create the GCS bucket in the Google Cloud. Okay, so let's start with the first point, the BigQuery interface. So I have already shown you how the BigQuery interface look like. How can you navigate to the BigQuery console? The BigQuery interface in the Google Cloud is designed to help you manage your data and perform the analytics efficiently. So accessing the BigQuery interface is very simple. You just have to open your Google Cloud console and then you can navigate to BigQuery. So click on the navigation menu. Okay, the three horizontal line in the upper left corner and then scroll down and then click the BigQuery section. And this is going to open the BigQuery interface. So let's see, let us perform this step again. The first thing is open the Google Cloud Console. So how to open it? Just write console.cloud.google.com. Okay, and make sure you have sign in with the Google account here. Okay, like a Gmail account. So now once I open the Google Cloud Console, what can I do here? I can move to the navigation menu and then from here I can select the BigQuery. Even there is also the option here to select the BigQuery. So it's your choice how you want to navigate to BigQuery. So let me click here. Okay, so once I click here, I can go, I'm going to jump to the BigQuery page. Okay, can you see that? Even if you want to go from here, for example, once you open the Google Cloud console, you can move to the navigation menu and then you can select the BigQuery. Even if you click on this one, it is going to open the BigQuery page. Got it? So we already have know all these things, am I right? Okay, what is the next? The overview of a BigQuery console. The BigQuery console is divided into several sections. The first one is Explorer panel, which is located on the left side. It displays your project, dataset, and table. You can expand and collapse these to navigate through your data. Okay, so once you open the BigQuery page, what can you see? There is an Explorer panel. Under that, you can see for the project name BigQuery, BQ course, there is a project ID, this one. Under that, yeah, yesterday we have created a data set with the name dataset1. So you can see all the details under the Explorer. Okay, after the Explorer, what is that? There is a details panel, which is located on the right side. It provides detail about the selected item. For example, dataset or table. This panel shows the metadata, schema, and other information. So for example, okay, under the Explorer panel, it is going to show you the project ID with the dataset. If I click the dataset, can you see it is going to show me detail about this dataset information. Okay, so this dataset is under this dataset ID with under this project ID with the name dataset1. When it was created, so it is created this date with the time. Yeah, what's the data location? Everything you can see here. Yeah, so here is our detail panels. Even if you want to see about this one, about the day, under this data set, we have a table, for example, the table one. So if I click on the table one, so you can see here, there is a schema of the table is defined, details is there, preview, you can see how the table look like. Yeah, so thing you can see. Lineage is there, data profile is there, data quality is there. Okay, so this is our detail panels. So the first one is Explorer panel, the second one is details panel. The third point of a BigQuery interface is query editor. Located in the center, it is where you write and execute the SQL queries. You can open the multiple tabs to work on different queries simultaneously. So this is the central part of the interface where you write and execute the SQL queries. So for example, once I click on this table one, okay, so on this one, you can see a detail panel. Now, on the top of this one, can you see there is an option for a query? Okay, so if I click here, it is going to open in the new tab. Okay, so it is going to tell select what. If you want to select everything from this with the limit, for example, 10. Okay, so if I click on the run, then it is going to show me all the details about this table with the limit 10. Limit 10 means it is going to show me only 10 rows with all the columns. Yeah. So the third part of a BigQuery BigQuery interface is the query editor. So the query editor is the central part where you can write your SQL queries in order to retrieve the data from the particular table present in a data set. Got it? So now under the query editor, you have the query text area, the area where you can write the SQL queries. So for example, can you see this is my area where I'm going to write the SQL queries. What is the next? The next is run button, which allow you to run the SQL queries. There is a run button here. If I run it, you can see what is the result I'm getting here based on the SQL query, whatever you are writing here. Okay. And what is the next part? The next part is saved queries and the query history. See, after executing this one, there is an option to save the query. Can you see that? I have the option to save the query. So if I click on the save the query, write the name of the query that you want to save and then the region and then save it. Got it? And then there is a job history like, yeah, can you see here? Here is a job history. Okay. Whatever have you done till now? Hmm? Okay. Now here, what I want to tell you here. So what are the BigQuery console components? The first one is Explorer panel. Second one is the detail panel. Okay. Under the detail panel, you can see the detail about the particular data set or a table. And then there is a query editor. It's an area where you can write the SQL queries, and for the SQL queries, we have the run button to run the queries. We have the save button to save the queries. Okay, got it. Now, next thing is result panel. Below the query editor, it displays the result of your queries. You can switch between the different tabs to view the recent queries. This panel displays the result of your executed query. So for example, the result table and the job information. Can you see that? If you run this query, let me run the query. Once I run this query, it is going to show me the result of this query. Yeah, can you see that? So as per the query, whatever you want to return, I want to return everything from the table 1 of a dataset 1 for this project ID. With the limit 10 means it is going to retrieve only 10 rows from this table. Okay, so you can see the result of the query. Once you click on the run button, you can see the output of the query or the query result here. Got it. And then under that, we have the job information also. What's the job ID? What's the user ID? The location, whatever it is. Okay, execution details, everything you can see about this one. Got it. Now there is a task history located at the bottom. It shows the history of your recent queries and the jobs, including their status and execution details. Okay. So summary, in short, you can say there is the Explorer panel. Okay, navigate the projects, dataset and tables. Details panel is there through which you can view the metadata, schema and other details. Okay, then there is a query editor that allow you to write and execute the SQL queries. And then there is a result panel on which you can see the result of your query. And then there is a task history which allow you to monitor the query and the job and show you the job execution history. Got it? Now here comes the main point for us, using the BigQuery command line tool. So the first question is, what is the BigQuery command line tool? Okay, till now we have seen how to set up the Google Cloud Platform account, how can you set up the BigQuery account, and we have seen the BigQuery console interface, how does it look like, what are their important components, Explorer panel, detail panel, query area, yeah, results. Now, we also have seen how can you create the dataset under the particular project and how can you create a table under that dataset. The next important point for us is the BigQuery command line tool. What is that? See here, the BigQuery command line tool is a powerful utility included with the Google Cloud SDK that allows the user to interact with BigQuery from the command line. From the command line. This tool provides a way to manage the BigQuery resources, execute the queries, and perform data operation without using the Google Cloud Console web interface. Okay, so just now what we have done, we have seen the BigQuery interface, BigQuery console interface here. Yeah, so in which what we have done, we have seen we have selected the project for which you want to set up the BigQuery account. After that, under that project, we have this project ID. Under that, we have created a dataset with the name dataset underscore one. Under that, we have a table with the name table underscore one. Okay, and if I click on this one on the right side, I can see that detail panel about that. If I want to write the query for it, okay, so I can have a click on this one. Even I can write the query here also. If I run the query, I can see the output here. But if if you want to utilize a particular table present in a data set, and if you want to run the SQL queries to retrieve the data from the particular table without using Google Cloud Console or without using the BigQuery console, then you can achieve it with the help of BigQuery command line tool. Okay, so the BigQuery command line tool provides you a way to manage the BigQuery resources, execute the queries, and perform the data operation without using the Google Cloud Console web interface. Okay, the BigQuery command line tool is designed to handle all the aspects of BigQuery management, including creating and managing dataset and tables, loading and exporting data, executing the SQL queries, managing access control, and monitoring job status. So with the help of BigQuery command line tool, you can handle all these operations, all these tasks. Okay, so the BigQuery command line tool is designed to handle all the aspects of BigQuery management, which include creating and managing the dataset and tables, loading and exporting data, executing the SQL queries, and managing the access control, monitoring the job status. All these operations you can perform with the help of BigQuery command line tool. Okay. Now, next part is entering the BigQuery commands in Cloud Shell. You can enter the BigQuery command line tool commands in Cloud Shell either from the Google Cloud Console or from the Google Cloud command line interface. Okay. So since we are discussing about the BigQuery command line, so you can enter the BigQuery command line tool command in the Cloud Shell, either with the help of Google Cloud Console or from the Google command line interface. So to use the BigQuery command line tool from the Google Cloud Console, activate the Cloud Shell. So how to activate the Cloud Shell? There is a button. Click this one. Activate Cloud Shell at the top of the Google Cloud Console. Okay. A Cloud Shell session opens inside a new frame at the bottom of the Google Cloud Console and display the command line prompt. It can take a few seconds for the session to be initialized. So for example, if you on a Google Cloud Console, okay, so here is a button. Can you see that? Activate the Cloud Shell. So once I click on this one, it is going to take few seconds to activate the Cloud Shell. So can you see that? You just come here and you can click on this button. Yeah, on this arrow. Activate the Cloud Shell. Yeah, can you see that? Welcome to the Cloud Shell. Type help to get started. So your cloud project platform in this session is set to, this is my project ID in which we are presently working. Okay, with the project name, whatever it is, use gcloud config set projects to change to the different projects. So they are also showing us something if you want to go to some other projects. So presently you are working with this project ID. Okay. So if you write BigQuery ls, okay. So here you can enter the commands for a BigQuery command line tool. Okay. Now, what is this command? What are those commands? How to use it? We will see it in details. Okay, no worries. Okay, so to use the BigQuery command line tool from Google Cloud Console, what you have to do? You have to just click on Activate Cloud Shell. Okay, what you have to do? Click on this one, Activate Cloud Shell. So here, once you click on that, it is going to take few seconds. Okay, and you can see the Cloud Shell terminal is open with the welcome message. Okay, what are these commands? If you want to see the project name, if you want to see the history of the project, if you want to know what are the project list. So I will show you also what are these commands. Okay, in this session only, but in later slides. So as of now, our goal is how can you enter the BigQuery command line tools command. So in order to enter the BigQuery command line tool commands in the Cloud Shell, you can make a use of Google Cloud Console. So to use the Google Cloud Console in order to make a use of command line tool, so what you can do, you can activate the Cloud Shell. So click on this arrow, which you can see here, and then activate the Cloud Shell, which is present at the top of the Google Cloud Console. A Cloud Shell session open inside a few frame at the bottom of the Google Cloud Console and displays a command line prompt. It can take a few seconds for the session to initialize. Now next is to use the BigQuery command line tool from Google Cloud command line interface. You have to install and configure the Google Cloud command line interface, gcloud CLI. So we will see how to install and configure the gcloud command line interface. But before using the BigQuery command line tool, ensure you have a Google Cloud SDK installed in your system. Okay. What they want to ensure us? They want to ensure to us is that we should have Google Cloud SDK installed in our system. If we want to utilize the BigQuery command line tool from Google Cloud command line interface. Okay, you can enter BigQuery command line tools commands in the Cloud Shell either from Google Cloud Console or from the Google Cloud command line interface. So in order to enter the BigQuery command line tool commands in the Cloud Shell, using the Google Cloud Console, you have to just activate the Cloud Shell, which is present at the top of the Google Cloud Console. Once you click on that, a Cloud Shell session open inside a new frame at the bottom of the Google Cloud Console, and it displays the command line prompt. Okay, and it can take a few seconds for the session to be initialized. Okay, so this is one of the way to enter the BigQuery command line tools in a Cloud Shell with the help of Google Cloud Console. But if you want to enter the BigQuery command line tool commands in the Cloud Shell with the help of Google Cloud command line interface, you have to install and configure gcloud CLI. So before using that, we have to make sure that you should have Google Cloud SDK installed in your system. So let's see about Google Cloud SDK and how can you install Google Cloud SDK in your system. Because once you have the Google Cloud SDK installed in your system, you can make a use of gcloud CLI in order to enter the BigQuery command line tools, okay, in a Cloud Shell. Okay, so let's see how can you install and configure the Google Cloud SDK. So Google Cloud SDK, which is also known as gcloud, is a set of command line tools provided by the Google for managing and interacting with the resources and services on the Google Cloud platform. It enables developers and administrators to access and manage Google Cloud services from their local machines. Okay. It enables developer and administrator. Google Cloud SDK, it enables the developers and administrator to access and manage the Google Cloud service from their local machine. The Google Cloud SDK offers a wide range of capabilities, including deploying applications, managing the virtual machine, configuring network setting, and interacting with various GCP services such as Google Cloud Storage, Google Compute Engine, Google Kubernetes Engine, and the BigQuery. Okay. So Google Cloud SDK, which is also known as gcloud, which is the set of command line tools provided by the Google for managing and interacting with the resources and the services which is present in the GCP. And it allows the developers and administrator to access and manage Google Cloud services from their local machine. Now, what are the components of Google Cloud SDK are? So some of the key components of Google Cloud SDK are gcloud command line tool. So what is this? gcloud command line tool provides the main interface for interacting with GCP resources. You can use it to manage the project, configure the authentication, create and manage the virtual machines, and deploy the applications. Yeah, next is GSUtil, Google Storage Utility. This command line tool is used for interacting with Google Cloud Storage. It allows you to perform the operation like uploading and downloading the files, creating and managing buckets, setting access controls, and performing the data transfers. Got it? Next key component of SDK is BQ, a command line tool for interacting with the BigQuery. BQ, that is BigQuery. So BigQuery, okay, BQ, a command line tool for interacting with the BigQuery, Google's fully managed data warehouse and analytics platform. You can use it to query the data, manage datasets and tables, load and export the data, and perform the other BigQuery related tasks. Okay, got it. So these are the some important components of Google Cloud SDK. Okay, so these are Google Cloud Command Line Tool, GSUtil, yeah, and the BigQuery, BQ. Okay, next is Kubernetes command line interface, command line tool, you can say. Okay, kubectl, command Kubernetes or Kubernetes command line interface. So Kubernetes command line interface or tool is used to interact with the Kubernetes clusters on Google Kubernetes Engine, JKE. It allows you to manage containerized application, deploy and scale them, view cluster informations, and perform different Kubernetes operations. Got it? So this is also one of the important component of Google Cloud SDK. Okay. Next important component of Google Cloud SDK is client libraries. Okay. So language specific libraries for various programming languages like Python, Java, Node.js, and more, which simplify the integration of GCP services into the applications. Got it? Okay. And next component of Google Cloud SDK is API tools. API tools are the tools for interacting with the various Google Cloud APIs. Got it? So the Google Cloud SDK is a comprehensive suite of tools that makes it easier to manage, deploy, and interact with the Google Cloud resources. Whether you are a developer, system administrator, or DevOps professional, the Google Cloud SDK provide the necessary tools to streamline your workflow and take full advantage of Google Cloud Platform's capabilities. Got it? So we have seen what is the Google Cloud SDK, which is a set of command line tools provided by the Google Cloud for managing and interacting with the various resources and the services on GCP. And we have seen what are the some key components of Google Cloud SDK. Okay. Now let's see how to install and configure the Google Cloud SDK or G Cloud command line interface. So you can install the Google Cloud SDK on various operating systems, including Linux, Mac operating system, and Windows. So here is a basic installation guideline for Windows operating system. Okay. So before installation, make sure that one of the following operating system version is installed in your system. So Windows 8.1 or later with the Windows Server 2012 or later. So you can see the installation steps are here. So perform the following steps to install the Google Cloud command line interface. So the first step is the download the Google Cloud command line interface installer. So to install the Google Cloud installer, click on the following link. So let's perform these steps in order to install and configure the Google Cloud SDK. So what you do, you just click on this one or else copy paste it. So let me copy paste it. Okay, in a Google Chrome. Okay, so if I copy paste and if I press the enter button, can you see a file has been downloaded in my system? So if I click on that one, so can you see it is going to show me the window where it is showing me the message, welcome to the Google Cloud command line interface setup. So the first step we done, we have downloaded the Google Cloud installer. After that, install the packages. To install the necessary packages, launch the downloader installer and follow the prompts. The installer will install all the required dependencies, including the Python 3. Okay, after that, there is a third step. Initialize the command line interface. Once the installation is finished, the following options are displayed on the screen, such as create start menu, create desktop shortcut, start the Google Cloud CLI shell, or configure or run the Google Cloud CLI. So select the option 2, 3, 4. Even if you want to select the option 1, that's also okay. And start the Google Cloud CLI shell and configure the G Cloud CLI and then click finish button. And this is going to open the terminal window Once it is open, you have to execute the command gcloud init. So let's perform these steps in order to install and configure Google Cloud SDK. So we have all downloaded the file. After that file, we have click on that, then it is showing us this message. So let me click on the next button and then just go ahead with the installation process. Please select the install type for which user you want to have. You can use single user, all user, it's your choice. In case of all user, it is going to ask me the permission. Okay, provide the necessary permission and the destination folder if you want to have this Google Cloud interface. So I have it's already shown by default. So let me just click on the next and then click next button. Okay. So now you can see that the installation has started. The Google Cloud command line interface setup has started. So it is going to take a few minutes. Okay. So once it is installed, what we have to do? Okay, can you see that in my system, there is already a version of Google Cloud in this one. It's recommended that you first uninstall the previous version. Do you want to continue the installation anyway? Okay, let me just continue. But if you are installing it first time, it will not show you this pop-up message, which I got it. Because in my case, it was already there. Okay, so it is going to install the Google Cloud command line interface setup. So just wait for a few seconds. Let's see. Okay, once it's installed, what it is going to show us, it is going to show us the next screen, initialize the command line interface, in which it is going to show us some options. Once the initialization is finished, the following options are displayed on the screen. What are those options? Create a start menu, create a desktop shortcut, start the Google Cloud CLI shell, configure or run the Google Cloud CLI. Okay, so you can click on these options, whatever you want to have in your systems. Okay, so okay, let it get installed. Meanwhile, what we can do, let's continue with the next slide. Now, once you're done with that, install the additional G Cloud components. Windows Google Cloud command line interface installer does not include App Engine extension. So additional components of G Cloud can be installed using the following commands. So what is the command? G Cloud components install, supply the component ID. So for example, to install the App Engine Go extension component, use the following command. G Cloud components install App Engine Go. Okay. Similarly, update and revoke, update and remove the keywords that can be used instead of install to update and remove the gcloud components. So once you successfully done with the installation and configuration of Google Cloud SDK, you can verify the installation. So to verify the installation and configurations are successful, you can run a few simple gcloud commands. So let's see. In order to see list of all the available projects, what can you do? You can run gcloud projects list so that it is going to show you all the Google Cloud project lists. Okay. So does it finish? Okay. So let's just wait. Okay. So now can you see the Google Cloud command line interface setup? Can you see that? It has been installed. So just click on next button. Now, can you see that it is showing us some option? Google Cloud command line interface has been installed on your computer. Click finish to close the setup. So what are the options here? You can see in the PPT also I have shown you these options. It's going to be shown. Okay. So can you see create startup menu, start menu shortcut, create desktop shortcut, create start Google Cloud SDK shell, run G Cloud init to configure the Google Cloud command line interface. Okay. So Let me select these three options and then you can click on finish button. So let me click here. Now can you see that we are going to get a window here, a command line here. What is going to happen here? So once to verify the installation and configuration successful, you can run the few simple gcloud commands. So please enter your numeric choice. Can you see that? Welcome. This command will take you through the configuration of gcloud setting from your current configurations, or can you see that it is showing me something? Okay. Please pick up configuration. Reinitialize the configuration, default with the new setting, or create a new configuration. So if I click one, your current configuration has set to default. You can skip diagnostic next time by using the following flag. Okay. And then it is showing us the message network diagnostic detects and fixes local network connection issues, checking the network connection, and then it is going to show us choose the account you would like to use to perform the operation for this configuration. Okay, so here is my account, that is the first one. Okay, but if I click on the second one, so it is going to jump, it is going to open the default browser whatever you have in your system, and then you have to enter the Gmail account with the password that you have set up for your GCP account. Okay. Now, in my case, choose the account you would like to use in order to perform the operation for this configuration. So I want to go ahead with the option one. So you are logged in as this one. Can you see that? Now, pick the cloud project to use. Can you see that? Under this one, I have all these project IDs. So let us confirm it. So see, this is my, okay, this is my Google Cloud Platform Console. So let's leave it. Okay. So presently, can you see here? Presently, I have opened the BigQuery course. That is my project name. Can you see that? If I click on the selector, I can see whatever the projects I have created till now with the project ID. So can you see in this command line also, you can see, please pick cloud project to use. So these are the project ID. Can you see that? Yeah. The first one is, okay. Can you see these IDs? Affordable, yeah. Affable is elegant poetry. Can you see that? Affable is elegant poetry, fluted torsos, whatever it is. These are the names of the project with their corresponding project ID. So here in this command, yeah, open the command line tool. So in this one, it is asking us to select the project ID. So can you see for my project BQ course, my project ID is this one, elegant poetry. So let me select that. Elegant poetry, where it is on the second number. So please enter the numeric choice for your text. Let me enter 2 here. So now you can see the message. Your current project is set to this one. Can you see that? This message. Your current project has been set to this one. Okay. Now, once you install the Google Cloud SDK successfully in your system, in order to verify whether the installation and configuration has done successfully, you can run some basic commands. So what is the command I want to show here? If you want to see the list of available projects, so what you do, you just run this command, gcloud projects list. So if I open it and if I paste it here, gcloud project list. If I press enter button, okay. So here, okay, we are already in the project of this one, elegant poetry, this one. Okay. So before setting it up, you can also verify that how once you done the successful installation of Google Cloud SDK, it is going to ask us to verify something like what does it going us? Okay. The first thing is it is going to ask us for your current configuration, and then it is going to perform network diagnostic, detects and fixes the local network connection. After that, it is going to ask you to choose the account that you want to use to perform the operation for this configuration. So you can choose the account. After that, pick the cloud projects to use. And then you can see here, once you set up this one, then you can see your current project has set to this one. If I close it, and then let's suppose if I open it again, and if I write Google Cloud SDK, okay, so 1 second. So we have already created the shortcut for it. Yeah, can you see Google Cloud SDK? So if I open it, can you see that? Now, if I run the code, G Cloud project list, okay. So can you see that G Cloud project list? Okay, can you see? I'm getting all the projects with their project ID, with the name, with the project number associated with my Google Cloud Platform account. Now you can verify this answer with this one. Can you see that project ID with the project name, with the project number, everything you can see here. Okay. So once you done with the successful installation and configuration of Google Cloud SDK shell, you just open the Google Cloud SDK shell and then you can run this query command, gcloud project list. Then you can see the list of all the projects with the project ID, name, and the project number, which you have created in your GCP account. Got it. So now we have done with the installation and configuration of Google Cloud SDK. Now coming back to the point of using the BigQuery command line tool. So to enter the BigQuery command line tool, there are two options for us. Okay. To enter the BigQuery command line tool command, okay, in a Cloud Shell, there are two options. The first one is you can make a use of Google Cloud Console. Okay. In order to use a Google Cloud Console, what you have to do, you just have to click on Activate Cloud Shell. Can you see that? We have seen this part. To enter the commands in the Cloud Shell, you can make a use of Google Cloud Console or you can make a use of Google Cloud Command Line Interface. So to use the Google Cloud Console, you just have to activate the Cloud Shell, click on that icon, which is present at the top of the Google Cloud Console, and then a cloud session open inside the new frame at the bottom of the Google Cloud, and the display a command line prompt. Okay, it is going to display. It can take a few seconds for the session to initialize. So for example, let me show you again. So what you have to do, you just come to the Google Cloud Platform Console window here. You just click on this one, activate the Cloud Shell. So once you click on the Activate Cloud Shell, it is just going to take a few seconds to or in order to activate the Cloud Shell here. Now, can you see that the message is coming here, connecting? Okay. Just wait for a few seconds so that it should get connected to your Cloud Shell interface instances. Okay. So what we are seeing? We are seeing using the BigQuery command line tool command. Yeah, we are seeing using BigQuery command line tool. So in order to enter the BigQuery command line tools command in the Cloud Shell, you can make a use of Google Cloud Console or you can make a use of Google Cloud Command Line Interface. For a Google Cloud Command Line Interface, we have just installed the Google Cloud SDK. Okay, now if you want to enter the commands for commands of BigQuery command line tools in the Cloud Shell with the help of Google Cloud Console, then you just have to activate the Cloud Shell, which is present at the top of the Google Cloud Console. A Cloud Shell session opens inside a new frame at the bottom of the Google Cloud Console and displays a command line prompt. Okay, and it can take a few seconds for the session to initialize. So let's see, does it done? So it's taking a time. So no worries. Once it has done, it is going to open the Google Cloud. Okay, command line prompt here. Okay, now let's just wait. Now, can you see that? Here we got the Cloud Shell terminal in which you can see welcome to the Cloud Shell, type help to get started. Now, I have just shown you if you want to see all the projects, okay, present in your GCP account, G Cloud projects list. So you just have to run this code, run this command. So let me run it. Let's see. Can you see I'm getting the message authorize Cloud Shell. Cloud Shell need permission to use your credential for gcloud command line interface command. Click authorize to grant permission to this and future call. Authorize. So it is just going to take a call and it is going to show us, yeah, the output. For example, let me run it again. Yes, can you see that? I got the output here with all the details. So if you want to see all the things, yeah, can you see that? Project ID with the name, BigQuery with the project number, project ID, project name, project number, project ID, project name, project number. Here also we got the same thing. This is with the help of Google Cloud command line interface, and this is with the help of Cloud Shell, activate Cloud Shell. Okay. Cloud Shell terminal. Okay. Now let's get back to the point. So to use the BigQuery command line tools from the Google Cloud command line interface, you have to install and configure the gcloud interface. So you can enter the BigQuery command line tool commands in the Cloud Shell from either from Google Cloud Console and from the Google Cloud command line interface. Yeah. So in order to use the Google Cloud command line interface, you have to install the Google Cloud SDK. So we have done with the installation of Google Cloud SDK. Now let's see. We already have seen how to run the commands in the Google Cloud SDK prompts, right? Now, with the BigQuery command line tool, you can perform various operations such as creating dataset and tables, loading data, running queries, and more. Okay. So after successful installation of Google Cloud SDK, okay, in order to view the list of available projects, you can write gcloud project list so that it is going to show you all the project name with its project ID with the project number. Okay. Now with the BigQuery command line tool, that is BQ, you can perform the various operations such as creating the dataset and tables, loading the data, running the queries, and more. But prerequisites for that is Google Cloud SDK. So ensure that you must have the Google Cloud SDK installed and configured in your system. And then next part is authentication. You need to be authenticated with the Google Cloud and have the necessary permission to interact with the BigQuery. Okay. So initial configuration is authenticate your account, code cloud, authenticate login, and set your default project. So I have already shown you how can you authenticate your account and how can you set your default project, right? So this is the command. Even if you want to change your default project to something else, so you can have gcloud config set project with the whatever the project ID you want to set. Okay. So now what we are going to use, we are going to perform, we are going to execute some basic command in Google Cloud command line interface. Okay. So what I will do, I will continue with the next point of basic commands. Okay. In the next video. So till now, I hope you understand these points. Which points we have seen? What are the BigQuery console important components? Using the BigQuery command line tools, Google Cloud SDK. Okay, so we have seen till now. Okay, in order to use the BigQuery command line tools, you can make a use of Cloud Shell and you can activate the Cloud Shell. Right. Next thing is in order to enter the BigQuery command line tool command, you can make a use of gcloud CLI, Google Cloud Command Line Interface. But for that, you need to install the Google Cloud SDK. So we have seen how to install and configure the Google Cloud SDK. Okay. So now what I will do, I will continue with the next point of this one, some basic command, running some basic commands. So here, this one, I will continue with the next point of the basic command that you can execute in the Google Cloud shell. Okay, where you can write this one. Okay, so we have already installed the Google Cloud SDK in our system successfully. So we just have to open the Google Cloud SDK shell, and here we are going to write the commands. We are going to execute it. So I will continue with this point in the next session. Okay, in the next video, I mean to say. Okay, yeah.